Live from the Pickleball Giants studios in San Antonio, Mike Taylor and Sam Freese.
This team's one and done, man. One and done. But hey, they'll get to raise the second place regular season banner here in a couple of weeks. How you boys doing? It is Cowboys Overreact, sponsored by, in part, Pickleball Giant. Good to have you boys in here. It's Taylor. The Cowboys just beat the Eagles 40-34, the final. 40 points the Cowboys hang today on a good Eagles defense that falls to 13-2 overall as the Eagles miss a chance to clinch the number one seed. They'll get it next week. A Dallas defense that scores 20, that winds up, well, it's a Dallas offense that winds up scoring 20 points off the 4 turnovers. That I'll give the defense, I'll give them 2 of the 4 because the Eagles literally shit the ball on the carpet, which the Cowboys will never see that happen again. Miles Sanders won't drop 2 balls the rest of his career, how many ever games he winds up playing. And the Eagles didn't play very good, and they're playing with a dude who was living in a van that has a porn stash named Gardner Minshew, and they still find a way to damn near lose the game at the end. The Cowboys hang on, and they beat the Eagles 40-34. Wins are wins, and I always say, in the NFL, especially with as close as everything is, you never make excuses for losing, but you never apologize for winning. And the Cowboys have won, and that's good, and it keeps them in an upwardly direction. It's a good recovery from last week's shitting the bed in Jacksonville, a game they should have won. And it's a Cowboy team that is who we all think that they are. I said this Monday after the Jacksonville game. Dallas is the team you think it is. It's good. It's fine. It's good. Jimmy Johnson said a long time ago, and he wrote in his book that he recently released this summer called Swagger, the biggest enemy of great is good. Because a lot of people get good, and they settle for good. They get to the good part, and they quit trying to be great. They quit chasing great. A lot of us do that. Oh, I got a decent job. I'm good. I'm going to go. I'm good. A lot of us settle for being good, and Jimmy wanted to be great. And that's why Jimmy always used to say, good is the enemy of great, because so many people settle for good and don't put in the extra laborious hard work that it takes to be great. Dallas is good. They're not great. They're probably going to get their ass kicked in the first round of the playoffs, but we'll be here every step of the way. All right, I got a text message from Puma today. I say he lied to me. He claims his dad decided, no, let's do Christmas. Come up today. He was supposed to go to Glen Rose yesterday for Christmas. I got a text today saying, no, the family decided to do it today. Are you lying about that?
It's not the family deciding. It's my little brother throwing a kink in the plans. He's not staying the night tonight.
Oh, he's being SMU brother.
Well,
okay.
He's got 2 little kiddos. He's got a little boy and a little girl, and they got 3 Christmases to do.
Oh, well, why did they? Okay, so they decided to go to Glen Rose and see Grandpa and Grandma today. They were going to spend the night, and you were going to drive up in the morning, but since your bro decided, let's head back to Dallas or wherever he lives, then y'all decided to drive up there today?
Push the whole timeline up a day. So I am sitting in my grandparents' extra bedroom where I downloaded many of viruses off of LimeWire onto this computer back when I was in high school.
Hell yeah.
Making multiple mix CDs. What do I have on the wall back there?
Give us a tour.
John Wayne. You got Elvis clock.
Hell yeah.
The sign. Here, hold on.
Yeah. Give us a tour.
How appropriate. This is what's on the wall.
Hell yeah. Everybody's favorite white boy. Outside of Elvis.
At least in this part of the country.
On the Cowboy, yeah. You got all the favorite white people up there. You got Elvis, you got John Wayne and Jason Witten. You're rolling.
That's accurate.
It's white boy hero landia there in Glen Rose.
Yeah, but hold on.
Uh-oh. What do we got?
have.
Oh, is that Sitting Bull?
Yeah, can you see it? Yeah, there you go.
Is that Runs with Scissors? Look at that.
No, okay. I think your first guess was more accurate.
Well, here we are, man. So who all watched the game over there? Did you watch it? You said you're at your grandparents' house. How far do they live? How far is that house from your parents' house?
My parents' house is Glen proper. That is city living. That is literally a football practice field away from the high school. This is about 10, 12 miles outside of Glen just out in the middle of absolutely nowhere off of 3 different county roads, and then you find a winding driveway, and we're out in the country.
So it's some unincorporated piece of land somewhere.
That's correct. It's Somerville County.
Okay.
Half of it's Somerville County, and then the back half is technically Erath. So.
Wow. Okay.
Out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, it's my grandparents' place. My aunt and uncle are out here. They're my 2 nephews, and then little brother and his kiddos, and then my parents as well. So yeah, it's a packed house out here. We're
all right.
They are opening gifts at the moment. I sit.
Okay, they just decided just not let Uncle Sam see. Oh, too bad. Cowboy Postgame show. We got open presents.
I told him
your brother's got to leave. He can't wait all night.
Got to work. Yeah. I got to work. Y'all open presents. So someone around here has got to work. So.
All right. Well, very good. Let's get into it. Y'all can shoot us. Y'all jump in here on the chat. We'll read a few. You can always participate in the super chat if you want to. Those are guaranteed to get read. So try to make those decent. We appreciate your input monetarily on the super chat. You can always go to buymeacoffee.com/Mike Taylor live, and you can donate cash there to give us a Christmas gift. Donate to the Mike Taylor Child Support Christmas Fund this Cowboys Overreact. All right, I'm in San Antonio, as always. Bumma's up in Glen Rose. Well, somewhere outside of Glen Rose, and it's a miracle that he got on when I now realize you've got a 25-year-old computer, and you're not even in an actual city, so I'm just happy that you're on for the moment. So
it's a miracle.
I don't want to be a turd in a punch bowl. It was a fun game to watch. I mean, we had 74 points get scored.
Well, that's the problem.
That's the problem. Yeah, here's the thing. This defense is not ready to win a playoff game. They're going to get their let's say they go to Tampa, who's not very good. Tampa Bay may be the shortest idiot in that division. And the Cowboys got to go to Tampa. I know you're more confident than me that they can go to Tampa and beat a mediocre Bucs team. But if this game is somehow close and the Bucs are able to keep the Cowboys out of the end zone just enough, and the game's on the line at the end, you really trust this defense to stop Tom Brady at home in a postseason game? Shit, no, I don't.
Not.
Absolutely not.
No. And that's why if you're telling me if they go to Tampa in the first round of the playoffs and if it's a 40 to what would we end up 40 to 34 game, Tampa wins that. That's not a Cowboys win. Yeah. I mean, the defense cannot go 2.5 games without recording a sack. That is not a championship. That is not a defense that you can rely on in the postseason if they're going to go, multiple games without causing pressure in the backfield. Because this defense has been, when they're at their best, it's dominated by consistent pressures. It's not even just about getting the sack numbers. It's just getting wreaking consistent havoc in the backfield that is, allowing for a subpar secondary to not be overexposed. And right now, that's all you're seeing. And the outside of Deron Bland, who, 5 interceptions now in the limited duty he's had. I mean, outside of that, it's a secondary that's full of question marks. And I guess you could say Donovan Wilson has maintained consistent play in the secondary, but everything else is a question mark. And when you're not getting that pressure, those weaknesses are highlighted to dangerous levels. I mean, hell, we even, Diggs getting beat on another double move and seeing how easily that whole thing can fall apart fast when they're not getting that pressure.
I heard the Eagles coach. I don't know why I can't ever remember the dude's name. He just seems so generic to me. Sirianni. He just seems like a generic Philadelphian that they got off the street and said, "Hey, you want to coach today for fun? We're doing a bit," you know.
But is there a better individual that should be Eagles coach than a guy you think just feels like Sal from South Philly?
Totally. But he's 13-2, so I don't want to poo-poo on him too much. But the point I'm making is that I don't know if you heard or not, but when he met McCarthy just now at center court when the game was over, he told him, "Hey, good game. We'll probably wind up seeing you guys again." He's like, "Good luck." No, they're not. They're not seeing Philadelphia again unless they go to the championship game.
It would have to be an NFC championship game, which I think that's what I do think they're going to see. I mean, I'm just looking at how the cards. All that means is beating. All that would mean is beating Tampa, Minnesota, which we just talked about, and Minnesota. They're going to play Philly again in the NFC Championship game.
If Philly beats the 49ers, which I'm not so sure they're going to do that.
And that's unfortunately what could turn out to be when you deal with, like you always complain about the division winners getting home games. Not only does it mean Tampa gets home games, but in turns it means Philly's going to end up playing the best team in the NFC, not named Philadelphia, probably in the second round after that first round bye.
Dallas has a more fortunate playoff bracket if it starts today than the Eagles do. And the Eagles get all the home games because the Cowboys won't have to play the damn 49ers. I got wrapped up. Did Minnesota wind up hanging on and beating New York today? I need to look at it.
Yes.
Okay, I thought they did. Okay, Minnesota's getting itself back together after the Cowboys went in there and did that to them. It's just typical Cowboys. We're so topsy-turvy. And the offense, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Dak's a good quarterback. They've got a good running
Cowboys.
back. Mm-hmm.
It's typical Cowboys, but it's not typical NFC. That's the difference. So when you say they're one and done, the only reason I would say this doesn't feel like a typical one and done playoff run is because the NFC is so it's unprecedentedly down.
Unless the game's on the line in the fourth quarter and Brady's got the ball. So the Cowboys need to beat them by 10 or more, or they're going to lose by 2 or 3.
Yes. And I think you could also, I mean, like we just said, you know, Philly is going to probably end up playing the second best team in the entire league in a second round playoff matchup. I mean, this is a weird year where the NFC is not only wide open, but it's also falling where you might be better off not having the best record in the entire league.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Entire conference. I mean,
so this defense gotten. Remember about 2 months ago, it was enjoy your boy DQ while we can because he'll clearly be a head coach next year. This is a defense putting up numbers unlike we've seen since the 70s. Remember those post-game shows?
Through 10 games. It was a defense that saved a team from losing their season when their starting quarterback went down for 6 games.
And now it's going to have to be the opposite. Dak's going to have to score 40 if they're going to win playoff games because this defense sucks.
40 almost wasn't enough at home.
Against Gardner Minshew. At
Against
home.
a backup quarterback,
Right. I mean, they're terrible. They can't cover for shit. They can't pass rush anymore. Micah Parsons has been just a guy for about 8 games in a row. He can't even finish the game. They have to burn a fucking timeout because he can't get off his knee. What if?
Well, they were going to burn that anyway.
What if Philly scores there? That's a timeout you could have used trying to get a desperation field goal with 20 seconds to play if the Eagles had scored a touchdown. He can barely get off a knee. He's out there having to call timeout to get the end of the game. And I pick on him because he's the easy target, but they're not getting a lot of pass rush from a lot lot of other guys either. They're not sacking anybody. Now, where'd these guys go? What happened? What happened? It's unfortunate. You know, they lost. Van Der Esch getting hurt, I think, was big. And it's funny we're saying that because he's had a resurgent year. They've got injuries at corner, so they're even more porous at coverage. They get a lot of turnovers, and that's all they do. Thank God for that. They just have a way. I think they lead the league in points off turnovers.
Yep.
I think they're top 5 in the league in forced turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
If it weren't for that, they'd be right back to as shitty as they were in the last year under what's-his-face, who preceded Dan Quinn. The hell was his name? Marinelli. This is Rod Marinelli defense the last month, and it's the wrong time of the year, and they're getting ready to go play in Tennessee, and the Titans don't have an offense that scares the hell out of me. They got a backup quarterback, too. Then you finish up with Washington. Hell, Washington's still in a playoff hunt right now because of the ding-dong NFC. The Cowboys, I said this on Monday, they may not win again. Obviously, they won today. I was wrong. Let me reiterate this. Dallas may not win again. They may lose these next 2 road games and lose a playoff game.
Tripling down. You've been saying that ever since the Green Bay game.
You're going to say it till it happens.
They might not win another game the rest of the season.
I didn't say that. I said that we'll look back. I said we'll look back on that Green Bay game, and that might be when we decide, wow, this is the game this team shit the bed at Lambeau. We may look back at the Green Bay game and think, wow, that was the beginning of of the turnaround to bad for this team. And then, of course, they beat the hell out of the Vikings the next week, made me look bad. But since the Minnesota game, this defense is not good. It's just not. The defense is just, when you play a good team, which is the Cowboys haven't played a lot of good teams, have they? They finally play a good team today. And thank God that it's a team playing with a bad backup. Minshew's just a spare. And you still damn near lose at home because your defense all of a sudden just can't stop anybody. They got toasted last week by the Jaguars. They got toasted today by Minshew. And he's got badass wide receivers at his disposal, of course. And that's why I maintain this. The Cowboys are fine. They're a good team. Even if they win the next 2 games, that's fine. They go to the first round, and there ain't no way in hell I'm going to have any confidence that they can go anywhere in January. But, oh, well, they're still the Cowboys, and they sell more merchandise than anybody, and Mike McCarthy will get an extension, and Jerry will be happy because he's worth $8 billion. So Cowboys doing what Cowboys do. That's what it is.
Yeah, and the only saving grace is we've seen that defense last year force the turnovers, and now still, as they're slumping and giving up points and yards, they're still creating the turnovers. And so if you're grasping at one bit of silver lining, looking at the last 2 games of the season and a potential deep playoff run, they again forced 4 turnovers today and got 20 points off of that. So, I mean, if you're looking at something to hold on to give you any amount of faith that the defense is still the same defense we saw at the beginning of the season, the turnovers are still there. And maybe the pressures are with better health if you're able to rest some guy, because the standings are pretty much locked in at this point. I mean, you might flip spots with Minnesota if you lose out, but short of that, you're going to have the opportunity to rest some guys here over, if not starting at Tennessee, definitely against Washington. So maybe you can hold some faith that the defense is, could find its old self from earlier this season with a little bit of rest and time off. But at least, they wouldn't have even been in this game if it wasn't for the 4 turnovers. 2 of them were excellent plays by the secondary in Bland and Curse. And, the other 2 Philadelphia miscues just on basically handoffs with a backup quarterback, not being the normal guy that's handing off to those running backs that are, absolute studs. If it wasn't for the backup quarterback being off rhythm, it would have, and then a backup quarterback throwing 2 interceptions. But still, I mean, forcing 4 turnovers was the difference in this game, no question. And that is, if you're gonna hold on to anything or reach for anything to give you some kind of foothold, at least the turnovers are still there.
All right, Pickleball Giant is our primary sponsor of the Cowboys games all season long and will continue to be as long as the Cowboys are alive. 1604, and Bitters over by Rogers Ranch. It is Pickleball Giant. The name says it all. They just do pickleball, the only exclusive pickleball-only gear company, whether it's equipment like that or it's shoes, shirts. They got pickleball bags. You need a racket, go check it out. If you've never seen pickleball, never played it before, it is fun. And I need to get back out there when the weather gets better again and retrain, because I had a blast that day we went out there. And thanks to Robert and everybody at Pickleball Giant who sponsors this backdrop behind me here as the Cowboys win today 40-34. Also brought to you by JM Pool and Spa. My boys at JM Pool and Spa continue to pull many miracles in the greater North San Antonio, Lower Hill Country area. If you've got a swimming pool and a spa or both, that's great. It is a pain in the ass to keep them up. A lot of people now are using their hot tubs and such with this weather. And if you're looking for help in keeping it up and upgrading it and keeping fungus and crap out of it, my boys JM Pool and Spa, family owned and operated for a long, long time. In the Lower Hill Country area, it is JM Pool and Spa. All right, Mike Check A's in here. Hey, Puma, can I get a number one combo supersized with a Dr. Pepper, easy on the ice? You sound like generic Sonic speaker guy, the audio quality.
Welcome to Storms. What can I get you? Storms, what'll it be? Look,
Storms is one of Puma's staples up 281 every time he goes home.
The fact that you can even halfway hear me and actually see me right now is a miracle.
Yeah.
So let's accept what we have.
It's Christmas Eve, and you could drop it any time, and you got family guilt in the other room in there, so I won't keep you all night long. Dak, typical Dak, where Dak does Dak stuff and plays well, but then has a horrible turnover and loses his mind at the end. It gives his haters some meat to chew on. And he was brilliant after the pick six. He was absolutely terrific. Scored 20 points off the turnovers. Did everything the Cowboys asked him to do. He has to get a 150 rating every week with no fucking turnovers, or the haters will just dogpile on him and tell us about how he's horrible and they need to draft another quarterback in April. He was great.
Again,
he was fine.
It's possible to simultaneously say that first interception was an absolute terrible throw.
Terrible throw, horrible.
But every throw for the rest of the first half was perfect. Was spotlessly executed and right at receivers and generating points. And not to mention we had our first T.Y. Hilton appearance in the second half.
Saved
on
their
third
ass.
and 30. Yeah. That was a flawless, fucking perfect basket drop of a throw for the 53-yard catch to T.Y. Hilton. I mean, just unleashing it when the defense knows you're going deep. T.Y. gets on top of him. The one thing that we're being told T.Y. Hilton is still able to do, and they believe he's still able to do, and it's a perfect throw on a play where saved the game. You could argue at that point. I mean, that if the Cows end up, punting there, I would say with the way Philly can run the ball, I mean, when they don't fumble it in the backfield, that could have been the Dallas's penultimate possession right there, and T.Y. arguably, saved the afternoon. But again, a perfect place throw that traveled 45 yards in the air, 45 yards in the air.
Thereabouts, yeah. I mean, that's as good a throw as you can make by a National Football League quarterback, no matter who it is. And by the way, I guess we can put to bed the Odell Beckham Jr. shit. Although I don't think he's not going to be ready by January anyway. Nah, they're good. T.Y. Hilton's not Odell Beckham Jr., but T.Y. Hilton's a guy who's not going to stay out all night till 3:30 in the morning and show up the next day tired ass at practice. He's not going to do stupid shit on Twitter and have a road lizard and cocaine on the bed in a Parisian hotel. T.Y. Hilton's going to show up. He's going to keep his mouth shut. He's going to be a pro like everybody else, and he's going to catch passes on 3rd and 30. And that was a big play in the second quarter where he was able to keep A.J. Brown inbounds and keep the clock going. That was he baited him into a penalty call, into a hold call, and A.J. Brown. Remember, A.J. Brown was laughing. Not A.J. I keep saying A.J. Brown. It was Slay. It was Darius Slay, their badass corner. He was laughing too. He's like, "Damn, I fell for that." Because T.Y. Hilton's smart, and that's why it took him 10 days to be able to get back out there and catch passes, because he's healthy. And he's lost a step, and he's probably never going. This is his probably only time to ever play for the Cowboys, and he couldn't have had a better debut for them today. And that's exactly what they were hoping to get from Odell Beckham Jr. Smart veteran play, drawing penalties and catching passes on 3rd and 30 for 54 yards. Odell Beckham Jr. can't do that at this point. He can. So I think we're good on that. We can put that to bed. They want to go get Beckham in the offseason. Okay, cool. I might be able to get talked into that, but for now, you're just playing with fire at this point. To hell with it.
Yeah, just remember that. Just remember the one night we had of everyone chanting OBJ at the Mavs game, and let's just remember that as Odell Beckham's time with the Cowboys, because I think that's the closest we're gonna get.
Yeah. So your boy Parsons can get off Twitter now about opining for Odell Beckham Jr. because he's fun to party with and go to basketball games. All right, show also brought to you by Texas Cheer Liquor. There are 9 locations in and around the area. I got a whole heap and help of new liquor sitting on my counter, some of which was purchased at Texas Cheer Liquor, one of the 9 locations in this city. The newest they put up earlier this fall up in Bernie. And now he's set. He's got a championship hold on this market because there's 9 locations, so no matter where you live, if you need a liquor store or a humidor for that matter, because a lot of those stores even have cigar humidors in the back, if you are needing that, then I can scarcely think of a better place to turn to than Texas Cheer Liquor, because there's so many now. There's going to be one near you, so look it up on Siri or whatever, and you'll find a Texas Cheer Liquor near you, the official liquor store of Taylor. All right, so you're staying the night tonight, and you're staying on Monday. So here's what Puma's got me doing, which I find odd, because cats are pretty sustainable.
Yeah.
But y'all are paranoid. So I've been asked if I can go feed the cats tomorrow and Monday, which I'm more than happy to do.
No, okay. My fault. I meant to say tomorrow or Monday. So you can just do Monday.
Are you sure?
Yeah. We put a shit ton of food out.
Because Puma originally was like, hey, can you feed my cats on Sunday and Monday? Which of course I will do. But I thought, damn, what a bunch of pampered ass cats.
Okay.
Cats are way better than dogs in sustaining. You can leave them some bitches for a week; they'll be fine. So what do I do?
Yeah.
Just put a bunch of. I'm just going to dump food all over your kitchen. They'll eat it.
That works.
No.
No.
Send me directions. I'm happy to oblige. So when am I going? Monday or tomorrow?
The directions. You probably don't have to go tomorrow, because we really did put a bunch of food out.
All right.
So
I'm just giving you shit. I'm happy to.
Well, and tomorrow's Christmas. I don't want to throw off y'all's plan. Is that the Brenneman? Is that the Thom mug?
Yeah.
Hell yeah! Merry Christmas from Thom Brenneman.
That's
right.
Yes,
sir.
That's right. Poor Tom. That is the last time he ever had those headsets on right there. That's a historical time.
Thom, who slid into one of our listeners' Twitter threads a couple weeks ago,
and gave him shit with a snarky, with a very
I for one enjoy cold concession stand nachos, so I'm finally in my happy place.
Sure.
The cats. No, it's simple, dude. Just the cat food's in the kitchen, in the lower cabinet.
Okay.
Just throw I don't know. I'll ask Steph. Throw 6-8 scoops of food in there, and they'll be fine.
All right. And I don't have to worry about cleaning no litter box or nothing, right? I'm good there.
No, don't touch that. No, okay. God, no. I wouldn't ask my biggest enemies to clean my litter box.
All right. I got to tell you, I am. This won't go over well with any of our viewers. Maybe 2. The Philadelphia-San Francisco playoff game is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see that game. Good Lord. I just hope that Channelview's own Jalen Hurts is healthy by then. And I think I tweeted something during the game. The only thing that'll derail Philadelphia at this point, at least from getting the number 1 seed, of course, is health. And I tweet that out, and within 2 series, Lane Johnson goes down. I look like he got kicked in the balls. They're badass.
Yeah.
If Zach Martin's the best right guard in football, Lane Johnson's the best right tackle in football. That guy's a Hall of Famer. And I thought he got kicked in the nuts. I haven't heard what happened to him, but he didn't come back. So if I got Lane Johnson killed for the season, you're welcome, Cowboy fan, because it happened right after I tweeted the only thing that's going to keep them from winning anything is their injuries. And they got beaten up.
Boom, down goes a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, their other corner, God, I don't know why his name escapes me, opposite from Darius Slay, he messed his toe up early in the game, and he didn't come back and play the rest of the game either. Philadelphia, that's all that they've got everything, man. And honestly, and I tweeted this too, and I stand by it. This was not a frustrated Taylor mid-game tweet. The Cowboys may be as good as Philadelphia in some categories, but I don't think that they're clearly better than Philadelphia in anything. Well, maybe punter. I don't know. We didn't see Philadelphia's punter one fucking time, so I don't know about their punter. I don't know about their punter. But I don't know that Dallas is better than Philly in any category across the board, both sides.
That's a Philadelphia defensive side of the ball that has the potential to have 4 players with double-digit sack totals by the end of the season.
With Darius Slay.
That would be a first.
The best cover corner in football.
Right. And it's not just about the upper end talent they have, it's the depth. And it's the rotation, and it's the way they're able to keep everybody fresh. That's that non-reliance on one individual, but rather being able to keep fluidity amongst that entire unit up front. They're the best team in the NFC. I mean, it's unquestioned. They're the best team. I mean, do I have the most faith in them? No, I would still say that's San Francisco. But just from looking at 16 games worth of data, there's a reason. There's a reason they're going to win the NFC. I mean, I think it's pretty clear they have separated themselves from everybody else, at least while Brock Purdy is the person under center in San Francisco.
Yeah, and A.J. Brown got banged up some today for them. He didn't leave the game, but he's pretty banged up. He busted his knee. I think he tweaked his ankle. But that damn kid from Bama, that idiot from Louisiana who was shoveling money out of the red kettle, what a moron. That kid, Devontae Smith, he was tremendous for them today. Yeah. Just kicked the Cowboys' ass. And I tweeted something about him being a dumbass from Louisiana. He just got caught up in the moment. I don't think he literally meant take money from the kids.
No,
he was just that was an anti-Cowboys move because they always jump into that kettle, and that was his bit of taking money. He was taking Cowboys out of the kettle. That was his bit. But but on its literal legs, though, he was symbolically taking money away from the Salvation Army. So I guess they don't support the Salvation Army and poor people in the great state of Louisiana where that dumbass is from. That was a stupid move. But outside of that, he kicked the Cowboys' asses and almost beat them because he's good. And the Cowboys don't have a deeper wide receiver core than Philadelphia. Their offensive line might be equal, maybe. Quarterback, I mean, this year, Hurts may win the MVP, so you can't give Dak that. We could argue that maybe it's a push. And Hurts has only been great for 1 year, by the way, before y'all want to crown him anything. But he's been better than Dak. He's been better than Dak this year. Their defense, as Puma just alluded, is the best in football when it comes to sacking the quarterback and pressure. They've got a Pro Bowler, a perennial Pro Bowler at safety. They got one at corner. It appears their coaching staff has figured it out. They're just really, really, really good. And I can't wait to see them play a hot 49ers team. And I think that in that when we get that game, even though the 49ers are super hot, I think by then there'll be enough tape on this kid, Brock Purdy, the kid from Iowa State. And I'll bet you that Philly staff at home in the wintertime will find a way to get to Purdy and frustrate him. I think at this point, I guess I'm ready to pick the damn Eagles to go to the frickin' Super Bowl. But I got 2 weeks to make my mind up. But for now, the Eagles look like my pick, which I know is not anything hard to do, but they just impressed the hell out of me.
I mean, I'm not sure what changes in 2 weeks outside of catastrophic injury. I mean,
yeah.
I think they've done enough to confidently say they're the best team in the conference. They're the ones that are going to take take dethroning to get past. I mean, I think we talk about the weird situation with Tampa where it's a extremely banged up, inconsistent football team that also has the best human that's ever played the sport of football still playing quarterback for them. So there's that. There's San Francisco with everything you want out of a playoff team, except for the fact that they're starting a rookie quarterback who was the last player taken in the most recent NFL draft.
Yeah.
There's everything you can say about Minnesota, you could say about Dallas. There's not a whole lot of confidence in either one of those teams. So, I mean, it's almost like I was saying earlier, it's by default. Philadelphia is the king of this conference right now by default. And any other year in the NFC, I don't think Philly is a 2-loss team this deep into the season. Yeah. And I don't there's as much of a gap between the number one team and everybody else. It's a year where a team like Dallas or Minnesota, or as crazy as it sounds, a team like Tampa Bay that still has, the all-time best to ever do it. It's a year where a team like Philadelphia loses in their first playoff game, and some other team has a clear path to get to a Super Bowl out of this watered down conference this year.
I hate doing this, but why not? It's Christmas Eve. You know how we always have to deal with the moronic Dak opinions.
Sure.
And I always find myself having to defend the guy, even though it's not like I think he's all pro or anything. But it's stuff like this that just makes me nuts, and it probably makes me over praise Dak and root for him even more because of moronic tweets like this from Los Mavericks. Bro, we must have watched different games. First of all, I don't like grown people my age calling me bro. Bro, we must have watched different games because anyone that saw that game knows that Minshew outplayed Dak. Give the ball back just like last week. Couldn't make one clutch play to end the game when counted on.
I mean, I must have missed the part where Minshew had 17 consecutive completions. I must have missed that part.
Right. I mean, Jesus, the guy he threw the ball all over the yard. That's just one example. And it's like, I don't want to have to come on here and overrate Dak, but it's stuff like that makes me irate. And so I wind up over defending him, which I need to figure out how to stop doing that. Just leave dumb tweets. Let's let them go into the wind like farts because that's all they are. I
feel like I have never been in the position where it is so necessary to defend a borderline top 10 player at his position.
It's unbelievable.
And that's why when we sit here and we say on his best day, he's probably 8th best. And on his worst day, he's probably 12th to 14th.
Sure.
And so somewhere in the middle, he's on the peripheral of being a consistent top 10 quarterback.
And that never changes. He's the same guy.
No. And that's why when you sit there and you watch the game today, and then you turn around and say, I don't even know how he has a starting job. Like, what? What?
I watched 3 hours and
there's only 32 of these positions. I don't know how he even has one. Like, what are you watching?
You're not. The different, bro, did we watch different games? Yeah, I watched the one in which I was competently watching. You watched the one in which you're a retard while watching because you don't know shit about what you're watching. And I say this every week either. There are so many people that just watch the Cowboys. That's it. Or maybe they keep up with their fantasy team. Or they watch Red Zone. If you think Dak's horrible, then you're not watching any other teams any other week. and you're so emotionally tied into the Cowboys because your abuelito watched the Cowboys in the 70s, and so you're a Cowboy fan, and you're so emotionally tied up in it and you're only watching Dak, and you only have Dak to compare to Dak, and you've now talked yourself into Gardner Minshew as a better football player. And just get out of my timeline, man. We can't talk about this anymore because you don't know what you're doing. If you're going to have that kind of shit, we can't debate it anymore. We can debate this, but not with stuff like that. We just got to move on. Move on.
2 + 2, it will never be 5. And
Correct.
I'm not going
to
take
how
the
much
time
they
to
want
try to argue that. We're talking about the same Gardner Minshew who smashed Aaron Andrews, and not in a good way, hit her in the head with a ball right there at the end of the first half.
He doinked her in the head.
Like, sure, he's a better quarterback than Dak. You're right.
I was hoping she was just going to go face down and not get up. That'd have been great.
Hello.
Thunderdome Josh is in here, tuned in to Love You Hard Television for Cowboys Overreact, because Mike's Cowboys opinions go up and down more than a wooden roller coaster at Six Flags.
Hey-o.
The Cowboys go up and down more than a wooden roller coaster at Six Flags. Have you watched this season? The season is a corkscrew. What's the Batman? What's the one that goes around and around and around and around at Fiesta, Texas? That's Dallas.
World.
I'm reacting to them. I'm not making these opinions up. I'm watching the games.
Yeah, this is a team that blows leads against Green Bay and Jacksonville, but then beats the third best team in the NFC 40-3.
Yeah, and then hangs 40 on the Eagles.
Right. I mean, it's up and down for a reason. It's not fabrication.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 1 week they're losing to Green Bay. 1 week they're hanging 40 on the Vikings. And then 1 week they're scoring 33 and a quarter. But then the next week they're blowing 3 touchdown leads to the Jaguars, or almost losing to Gardner Minshew or something, you know?
I will say, as inconsistent as this organization is, one thing that remains consistent is Jerry's stubbornness. Put some fucking curtains in that place. Like,
never going to happen.
That's like it cost them 4 points again today. That should have been a touchdown catch. You could see Gallup's hands change as soon as his eyes hit the sunlight. That should have been a touchdown catch on on a perfectly thrown ball by Dak. But
here, I'm going to do a quick community theater of Jerry on his deathbed.
Hey, I love y'all. Don't let that goddamn fun baby get none of y'all's money. And don't you dare close them curtains.
That's how he's going to go out right there. That's it. He's going to have it written in a contract that the kids, after he's dead, are never allowed to close that damn. He's going to be stubborn in posthumous death. They will never close that, man.
And explain to me how, if the reason is, it looks better on TV. No, it doesn't. It makes everyone look like a Simpsons character. It turns everyone bright orange.
Yep, pretty much.
It's awful.
Yeah. All right, R&R Auto Glass, the official auto glass repair company of this show, too. Right there by the airport at 281 in Tacoma, serving the city since '06. Mom and pop, independently owned, Poodle San Antonians, UTSA season ticket holders, and the best damn glass repair company in this city, right by the airport. Mention me, get yourself a Taylor Especial. They can fix just about any vehicle. They got a massive inventory of glass over there. So whether it's a front windshield, side windows, back windows, sunroofs, they fix it all at R&R Auto Glass right there by the airport at 281 in Tacoma. All right. Have you recovered from my deathbed, Jerry? But I meant that, though. He's going to have it right and written. If he hadn't already, we're never closing that damn curtain. And it's not because he really thinks, it's not because he thinks it looks great. It's because you're right. He's absolutely stubborn. And can I add one more thing about him? I've got 4 kids. They all started clapping. An infant learns to clap probably about 4 or 5 months old on the average, right? Sure. All 4 of my kids, within about 3, 4, 5 months, were all, something would happen. Oh, yay! And like this. Or like this. The fact that he's at 80, and he still claps like he had his arm shot off in Vietnam like John McCain?
He claps like a circus monkey.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like he's holding it like the monkey with the cymbals.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
He still claps like that.
He's from the era of Barnum and Bailey.
Yeah.
Here, before my battery runs out, you want to see if I can get a little look at everybody?
Yeah. Say hi to everybody. I won't cuss.
All right, here, let's see.
Okay.
See if I can get a good one.
Oh, God.
Can you see everybody?
Oh, wow. Look at that. Hi, everybody.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas to the folks at Glen Rose, Texas.
Here,
look at that.
Can you see my oh, let's see. You see my perfect Christmas ornament there?
Oh, look at that. 1986. How about that?
Yeah. I put it at the top of the tree every year.
I saw that Jason Witten jersey too, brother. You bet your ass.
Of course. Of course. All right.
All right,
I'm
that's
out.
it. All right, homie. Go have some Christmas. Y'all be safe, and I'll see you in here on Tuesday.
All right, Bubba.
All right, send me instructions on kitty cats. I'll take care of them whenever you want.
Will do.
All right,
Merry
thank you,
Christmas,
everybody. Merry Christmas. See you, Puma. All right, adios. There he goes to see Christmas with the family up in Glen Rose. We be done. Thank you to DJ LG. Thank you to all the viewers. Even if I made fun of your tweets, doesn't matter. Still love you hard. We can agree on other things, just not that. All right, that's it. We'll do this again next week. The Cowboys play in Tennessee next. Oh, it's a Thursday night game. LG, were you aware of that?
Yeah.
It's a short week. So it's Thursday night, 7:15 kickoff in Tennessee. It'll be the Amazon game, and we'll do the post game after that game is over on Thursday night. All right. Love y'all hard. We'll do another Mike Taylor Live on Wednesday. We'll do Cowboys Thursday unless we get lazy and decide to combine the shows. All right, y'all be hard. Love you. I mean, y'all, yeah, you can be hard, but also love you hard. Cowboys win. Beat those Eagles. How about that? Beat Gardner Minshew 40-34. See y'all on Thursday night. Love you hard. See ya.
Overreact is brought to you by Pickleball Giant.